So in my 25 years as a clinician, one of the most common goals that I get from parents is, how do I get my child to follow simple one-step instructions? Stuff around the house, come to dinner, get your shoes, different things that just involve come here. How do I get my child to respond to simple one-step instructions? So here are a couple tips to make that happen. Step one is choose the instructions carefully that you start with. Pick things that matter to your child, things that they may be more likely to be engaged with. So let's say, for example, they're a child who likes to give a lot of love. Then maybe you start with instructions like, come give me a hug or give me a high five. Start with things that matter to your child. Tip number two is this. Think about how you're going to teach your child to perform that step. Make it easy for them. So let's go back to the following the instruction, give me a hug. Make it super easy. Get close to them, reach out your arms, and all they have to do is just come in and grab you. And then after that, step number three is this. Make sure you have a party when that happens. How are you going to have that celebration? Include things that are interesting to them, whether that be a game or a stuffed animal that they like or an iPad app or whatever that might look like. Make sure that gets delivered as soon as they give you that hug, or if you put out your hand for that high five, as soon as they make contact and give you that high five, the celebration and the party begins. And finally, the last tip is this. You want to see how your child is doing. How are you going to do that objectively? You need to take some data. You need to very simply get a piece of paper. It can be super simple. Just keep track of this. Did they do it on their own, or did they need some extra help doing it? And the more and more they start to do it on their own, that's when you know you can up the bar. You start another type of instruction. You make it a little trickier. Maybe that hug isn't so close anymore. Maybe that high five is not just within the reach. They have to approach you a little bit. You start to think about how you can up the bar, but you can only do that if you're tracking how they're doing. That's how you're able to make objective decisions. So to recap, how do you get your child to follow those simple one-step instructions? Number one, start with things that matter to them. Number two, think about how you're going to teach it. Make it super easy at the beginning for them to be able to follow that instruction. And then number three, think about that party, that celebration. What are you going to do when they perform that skill? And finally, number four, track it so you can make decisions about how you're going to up the bar to those next steps. And by following those 4 steps, I am absolutely sure you'll be on your way to your child following a variety of different one-step instructions independently.